Thank you guys for watching the Animal One Guy YouTube videos. If you like this video, please leave a like and even comment below. And if you like all my content, please hit the subscribe button. And why not click the bell icon for notifications too? That way you can see all my videos. Give me the ball. Hey everybody. So I'm making this video because I really want to show off how amazing ball pythons are as pets. And if you don't know, you don't know, and you're afraid of snakes. And I've shown off my, my snakes before, but you know what people will say is like, oh yeah, well, and it's acceptable. That's been your pet snake for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. That's a 20-year-old snake. That's a 25-year-old snake. They've been with you for 2 decades. Of course they're nice to you. And, valid points, right? Same thing. A dog that's been your pet for 10 years, 15 years. Yeah, you have a bond with that animal. So point taken. I see where they're coming from. They're coming from that place where this thing is known to be your pet for a long time. And when it's your pet for a long time, you know its mannerisms. It knows your mannerisms. Rinse and repeat. Got it. Okay, cool. And somewhat that's true. But just like with breeds of dogs, there's breeds of snakes. And I've always said, and people will know if you own them, ball pythons. Ball pythons are amazing. That is a ball python. Why am I showing Guinevere? Well, if you got a sneak peek in the live stream that I did, I think maybe last month, probably, I do one a month, typically the last Saturday that's in that month. But sometimes holidays and but typically that's what it is. I believe I had Guinevere out and I was showing her, but I want to show people in the video how friendly this snake is. So this is a snake that I have not had for a year, not even a year. B, came in as a rescue. C, came in from being really mistreated. Snake was covered in stuck shed. Snake was way underfed. And the feeding part is not as big of a deal as it was, food aggressive and things. But that stuck shed, it took a lot of handling that the snake did not enjoy. And I have a series on her showing that off, of getting off the stuck shed and all of that. And so you can't be in a worse relationship, right? Okay. So snake I've not had for long. Wild snake that, or was probably captive bred, but because of the morph, but wild in terms of not well cared for. And the rehabilitation, when you have 3, 4, 5 layers of stuck shed and multiple eye caps, you have to hold the snake's head. You have to do stuff the snake doesn't like for the benefit of the snake. So how good of friends can you be? That's what we're going to show you here today. Because I want to show you the nature of a ball python, 1, and 2. When you are a good owner, how strong you can make that bond with a ball python. Now, yes, you can make it strong with a boa, a retic, a this, a that, Burmese python, etc. But guys, those are larger snakes, and most, those are not snakes everyone can keep. Everyone can keep a ball python. Everyone can keep a ball python because you can probably do a larger rack system, or a 3-foot by 2 by 2 enclosure, or a little bit bigger if you can, but you don't need to go huge. This is a 3 by 2 by 2, huge enclosure. Look at how big this is. She's in here because she's quarantined. They actually like it a little bit smaller. Talked about that controversy, but they actually like a little bit smaller. But let's go. I'm going to put my hand right now in front of the snake right down. She's staring at me. She's not asleep. She's awake. She's not fully balled up, though. This is just how she is. Here we go. There's my hand. Barely in frame, but my whole hand, my whole palm is just laying down in front of her. What do we want to see? Normal behavior. Fast tongue flicks. We want her to identify what is that. We want her to know it's my hand, it's not food, and that's what she's figuring out now. What is she going to pick up from that? Well, 1 is she's going to pick up a scent of not known food, which is really good. And 2, then hopefully she's going to pick up my scent. Now, what would have been foolish for me is if I would have just handled rats or some prey and then did that, which probably would have led to a bite. Okay, cool. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pick her up. Yeah, I want to show off how friendly she is. We've done all of that. Let's go ahead and pick this girl up. Yeah, like most ball pythons that are new, they'll cower, they'll ball up. That's okay, that's normal. She's not super used to being handled, but that's actually why I want to show this off. Because when you have a snake that is a rescue, that's not super used to being handled, that doesn't mean you're going to have aggression, okay? That doesn't mean that the snake is going to bite the crap out of you. Because I'll tell you right now, I have zero fear that this snake will bite me. There is a 0% chance this snake is going to bite me in this interaction. Because there's no reason for this snake to bite me. The snake is not trying to eat, and the snake is not trying to defend itself. So I will just freehold the snake. Now, one thing I have been doing more with her, but not a lot yet on purpose, is I don't do a lot of handling when you first start rehabbing a snake. You want it to rest up. You want it to become comfortable with your smell. You want it to become comfortable that you feed it. But you want this snake, if it has stuck shed, if it has wounds, you want it to get rid of all that. And you also want the snake to put a little bit of weight on before you start handling it. You want her, she's just a tad underweight, probably within 2 feedings. I don't power feed my snake, so she could have been brought back up, but she's eating every couple weeks. But what I'm doing here is I'm slowly getting her back up to size. And now that she's just a touch underweight still, but very close, now I'll start handling her. But I wanted to get her to this weight level and film this video first. I think I've picked her up socially like this once for the live stream and one time before that. So this is my 3rd time not holding her to remove stuck shed or, you know, just give her a good once over. Look how friendly this snake is. This is incredible. I could lay down with this snake on me. She's not going to choke me out. I mean, this is such a friendly snake. She's going to make such a good pet for someone when she gets fully back up to weight. But look at this snake. And guys, this is what you can do with a ball python. You don't need daily handling. You don't even need weekly handling. Now, I'm using the word need. That doesn't mean you don't do that, because you absolutely can. And I'm going to start handling her a couple times a week, like I do all my reptiles. There's too many to handle them all every day. Although they all do see me, hear me, and sometimes I pet them all, but I don't get to take them all out for a half hour. It typically rotates, so 2 to 3 times a week, sometimes 4, they'll get an interaction like this. But you don't need to do that to have this nice bond, because ball pythons are gentle snakes. This is a pet you could give a 4 or 5-year-old that's not going to squeeze it. You know, let it crawl on them, let it go around their shoulders and stuff, and they will not die. You still have to obviously supervise, because you're supervising for both the snake and for the child. But yeah, look at this. Look at this. She's a beauty. She's gorgeous. She's super handleable. And I'll be honest, I've never met a non-handleable ball python. I've also never met a snake that I have not been able, or someone has not been able to make handleable. The amount of time that is needed from an abused animal, a scared animal, a wild caught animal that was caught wild after it was an older adult, yeah, those things vary. But typically within a year, you can even tame down the most wild thing if you're working with it daily. Sometimes rescues, guys, you'll see, and they'll tell you like, oh yeah, you know, you'll see lizards that are not super handleable yet. It's because they got a lot of things, and they can't spend an hour, 2 hours a day with just one. We're going to go ahead and let her go back down into the tank here. I mean, what a beautiful, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous snake. Gorgeous snake. And I actually want to move her because I want to put her little hide back. She's got a super small snake hide. Put a little weight on it. Put her little temperature, humidity sensor. Put a weight on it. I just don't want her kicking it around. And this is probably, if there would have been a slightly smaller hide, it would have made her feel more comfortable. Because remember, guys, these snakes, ball pythons, they want to be balled up. They want to be able to touch their enclosure, their hide, they want to be able to touch the top, the bottom, the back, the left, the right, and look at the opening. But she's so precious. She comes every single day that I walk in the room. She hears me and she sticks half of her head out of the hide, or her, not half her head, half of her body or her head, or otherwise she's just laying out anyways. But yeah, there she is, super, super calm. What a super nice snake. We'll get some last finishing shots of her here so you guys can really appreciate. And when they come out, guys, when they're a pet snake, they're not cold like they are in the wild. She's nice and warm off her heat mat. She feels so soft. It's such a nice feeling. These are good pets. Great pets. If you get a male, they even stay nice and small. If you get a female, a little bit larger. Okay, guys, take care.
Thank you guys for supporting my reptile rescue family.